Hi everyone, it's Maddie again from Be Naturally Jazzy. I thought I should come back and do another video because I wanted to show you guys what the henna mix looks like once you're done mixing it. I'm going to try to stand up so you can see here. It's just a really deep color. The consistency is very whipped, and that's from stirring it up for minutes and minutes and minutes. So I stirred it up for at least 5 good minutes, and it did start to solidify into a really nice consistency. So as you can see, it's pretty much a full bowl. This is going to get covered with plastic, and I'm going to let it sit for about 12 to 24 hours is the norm. And just make sure it's in a neutral temperature setting, not too hot, not too cold. And this will allow the color properties to release the correct way. So I'm just going to put that to the side. Also, I want to kind of touch bases on some things you're going to need after you're done with this. After you're done letting this sit, you're going to apply this to your hair. So these are just some of the things that are useful to have before you actually get started. I also wanted to mention that if you prefer to make the tea mix like I did, and if you don't have the actual hibiscus leaves, you can also make a tea infusion with the powder. All you do is add the powder to the base of the coffee maker or the pot, whichever one you're going to use. Just add it to the base directly inside the pot, and you filter the water through, and it's going to come down. It's going to steam and infuse the powder, and you can use that just the same and make a tea that's going to look just like this. You don't need to strain the powders away from the water. You just let it settle into the water, and you pour the whole solution into a different container. You don't need to strain the powders because it's just all going to go back into here anyway. You're going to add hibiscus powder to the henna, so it doesn't really need to be strained. So it's just kind of like extra powder, so to speak. So you don't really need to, use the leaves. You can also do the tea with the powder. So I just wanted to touch bases with that and to make sure people, had options. Also, what you're going to need is, of course, a lot of people like to use this applicator brush. I don't particularly use it. I'm pretty much a hands-on person. I don't really like to use this thing, but some people do. They like, they don't want to touch it. They want a smoother, application, so they use this. But I don't use it, but it is popular to use when you do a henna treatment. You're going to definitely need gloves. Any kind of latex gloves are fine. You just really want to cover your hands because this dye does stain, and you don't want to use just your bare hands to apply the mixture because it will leave a stain. It will stain your fingers, and it's going to take days to wash away. So, also, you're going to need some kind of base. This is just an old relaxer base that I found that I did not throw out from years ago. It's just Vaseline. That's all you really need is Vaseline. Some kind of petroleum-based product to line your temples, your forehead, and your ears, so the dye doesn't really taint your skin too much. It just forms like a invisible layer. Also, for me, this is really, 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 really important. You can apply it directly from the bowl with your covered fingers or this brush. I prefer to use my gloves, have my gloves on, pour this mixture, using this funnel into an old or, recyclable ketchup bottle. These are, maybe $1 at the dollar store. You could get them anywhere. I'm going to cut a portion of this tip off just to make it a little bit wider for application, for a smoother application, I should say, because it's really like a fine hole here, and this mixture is kind of thick and it's not going to squeeze through here. But I would highly recommend using this. And you're just going to put the funnel in here. And once the properties have released from the sitting mixture, you're just going to pour it with a spatula and press it into the container and replace it with the top, and you squeeze that using your gloved hand onto the sections of your hair. Now I normally part my hair into 4 sections and apply per section. That's easier for me. But this is a really, really, really good way to apply the henna without so much of a mess. In my opinion and my experience, this has been a lifesaver as far as not having the henna drip from my fingers and run down and all that stuff. This takes care of that. So just another option you can have when you apply your henna. Also, you might going to need some newspaper. I like to line my sink with newspaper because I'm always over the sink applying this stuff, and sometimes it drips, every now and then. Just in case it does, I have my paper down to cover my sink, and also I put a little bit of paper under my feet in case there's drops that fall on the floor to protect my floor. I also use a t-shirt that I am not wearing outside the house. It's just for me to do my hair. I also have a hair towel that is just for doing my hair. Each time I do a treatment to my hair, I don't grab, whatever bath towel is in the linen closet. I have towels specially set aside just for hair that I use. They're old, towels that you probably won't use anyway, but I like to keep things separated. Less contamination, less germs, less of a hassle. You don't mess up your good stuff. So that's also something to keep in mind as well. Now once you apply the henna to your entire head, you're going to line your head with saran wrap, plastic wrap. And this is to seal in the mixture to make sure it stays warm on your head, and that will help to lessen the drying effect that these mixtures can leave on your hair. It's not going to totally eliminate it, but it does kind of help to keep it moist while it's sitting on your head. So this is very important. If you don't have that, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. You just want to cover your head with something plastic. There's people that also use the shower caps and they wrap their hair in a warm towel as well. But this is so much easier to just line your hair with plastic wrap. So my table's a little messy here now, but I just wanted to make sure you guys had some other tricks and different options to use when you apply your henna, and I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Once again, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and drink my tea, relax, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks so much. For many of these herbs and also products that we have prepackaged and formulated, you can check out the site. The link will be in the description box. Thanks so much, you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.